Welcome to the motherfucking lady. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. The latest as it pertains to the ongoing Cold War between Amanda Serrano and Serrano-Shields based on some song lyrics that Amanda recently posted saying, "Always the one, never the two. I asked him to go play with something stupid, and he played with you." Serrano-Shields interpreted that as a subliminal shot at her because those song lyrics are from Remy Martin, who used to be married to Papoose, who Clarissa is currently dating, saying, "Why would I want to be a fighter with 4 losses on their record and 3 of them coming to the same person? Get out of here. I've always been number 1 in boxing and in my relationship. Ms. Undefeated, Undisputed, and Miss Unfuckwittable." Now, in the spirit of objectivity, I do think that was a subliminal shot at Serrano-Shields, but as many times as Clarissa has taken shots at Amanda and her promoter, she's asking for it. So then news breaks about Amanda Serrano's Time magazine spot as one of the 100 most influential athletes across all of sports. I don't think Clarissa liked that. Seemingly responding to it by saying, "Being number 1 and undefeated has gotten me everything I want. The millions of dollars, the sold-out arenas, the cars, the houses, the awards. I say that so humbly because, yes, God has blessed me over time. I thank God for that. Not a YouTuber who claims he started women's boxing." Except that Jake Paul never claimed to have started women's boxing. Now you're just making things up. When has Jake Paul ever said that? Your entire perspective seems to be you're undefeated, so that's supposed to make you the greatest thing smoking? To that, Amanda Serrano seemingly responded by saying, "I guess being undefeated doesn't get you everything, or everywhere." No, it doesn't. It doesn't get you a spot on Time magazine's 100 most influential athletes. It doesn't make you the most watched or the highest paid woman boxer. You can go on about how Amanda Serrano's got 4 losses. In spite of those 4 losses, she's more influential than you are and gets paid more. Clorenzo continued, "Are y'all slow? Amanda started tweeting about me. Congratulate her without mentioning me. Dead ass." New article. Yeah, Amanda never actually mentioned you, Clarissa. She never mentioned you by name. In truth, she didn't say anything about you. You only interpret it that way because of the song lyrics. But how would you know what she's saying if you weren't hawking her page? Mr. Moonshine of Punch Drunk Boxing responded to Clarissa by saying, "When did Amanda Serrano tweet about Remy Ma's husband's tag-along?" To which Amanda responded, "I never mentioned her or her issues. I like Remy Ma and her music. I'm blocked by Clarissa, but she's always on my tweets." And I think it was a subliminal shot. I think it was deliberate, but it really doesn't matter because how would Clarissa know what Amanda's tweeting about if she's not hawking her page? If she's not combing the internet to see what people are saying about her. Let's just say it was a subliminal shot. You don't have to respond. You can go on with your day if you've got it as good as you claim. Though as much time as Serrano-Shields dedicates to stuff like this, and how many times have we seen it over the years, you can tell that she doesn't have it as good as she lets on. Amanda Serrano continued, "I have 0 problems with Clarissa. She got mad at me for others calling me the GWOAT and Jake signing me." Both of which is true. Initially, Clarissa said that she didn't mind sharing the name the GWOAT with Amanda Serrano, her sister. She only got mad when the people at MVP decided to start calling her that. Amanda continued, "I honestly could give a crap about a name. I'm the highest paid, and that's good enough for me." So here's what it is. I do think it was a subliminal shot at Serrano-Shields, though as many times as Clarissa has taken shots at Amanda and shots at Jake Paul and the entire MVP stable, she's got it coming. How many unprovoked shots has she taken at the likes of Jake Paul, or Keith Thurman, or Rolly Romero, even Gennady Golovkin briefly? How many shots and how many times has she said something about somebody that never said nothing about her? This is a reality check for not just Serrano-Shields, but those who support her, claiming that she's the best thing smoking and that she's the GWOAT. Maybe in that vacuum you live in, inside of that bubble, that echo chamber, out here in the real world, she's not as influential and not as important as you guys make her out to be. Her undefeated record and all of those vacant titles that she picked up, it's nice for the trophy case. Your personal and professional accolades. I mean, it's good to be an accomplished fighter, but don't confuse that with being influential, because that's not the same thing. You know, Andre Ward, an Olympic gold medalist who retired undefeated at the age of 32, he's got accomplishments, he's got accolades, but he's not as influential as a Roy Jones Jr., as a Sugar Ray Leonard, these other fighters who do have career blemishes.
Muhammad Ali's got 5 of them.
But nobody's walking around thinking that because Andre Ward retired undefeated, he is in any way greater than those fighters, or more influential than those fighters. So when Clarissa carries on about her undefeated record,
same principle.
It's the same thing. You can have your personal and professional accolades, but don't confuse that with being the rising tide that raises all boats, because MVP has done more for more women boxers than Clarissa Shields ever has, and she's the one taking shots at them.
Why? Because they started calling Amanda the GOAT? You said you were okay with that.
She didn't say that herself. They're the ones that said it, but you took shots at her over it. You took shots at Jake.
And why? Because he knocked out a basketball player in 2020? What business is that of yours?
What? Because he's a social media influencer who started dabbling in boxing? You didn't get upset when Chrissy and Rock did the same thing. You congratulated her.
She doesn't spend the time on other social media influencers that she spent on Jake Paul, and he never said a word about her. The entire thing was unprovoked.
It started with her. Anything he said after that is only a response to the energy he was being given.
Just like Amanda.
You know she's not happy for Amanda, that she was ranked among Time Magazine's 100 most influential athletes, because I remember at the BET Awards when Angel Reese won one.
Was that in the summer of last year?
Clarissa felt that the award should have gone to her. She wasn't happy about that, so I don't imagine that she's happy about this. She's not really happy for anybody.
Told you she's the kind of person that pretends she wants to see you do well, just not better than her.
And now it's time for another installment of what has fast become the most popular segment here on the channel.
Ring IQ Hate Mail!
My previous video, I talked about David's campaign, seemingly to become an undisputed champion without facing the Ring Magazine lineal champion, Jai Opataya, and how you can't really be an undisputed champion without those two essential components. To that, Legendary Boxing 2026 said, no, you don't need the Ring Magazine belt to become an undisputed champion in boxing.
And yet, practically every undisputed champion that has ever been following the inception of the Ring Magazine title has held the Ring Magazine title.
Legendary Boxing continued, to be considered undisputed, a fighter only needs to hold all 4 of the major recognized world championship belts simultaneously in a single weight division.
What would seem like wisdom, except the Ring Magazine title predates the alphabet organizations as you know them, the WBA, the WBC, the WBO, and the IBF. None of that really starts until the 60s.
And you do realize that there have been undisputed champions before that, and you do realize that they've held the Ring Magazine title.
Which predates the alphabet organizations as you know them in the modern day and age by several decades. But go on about how you don't need to be a Ring Magazine champion to be undisputed. Ceylon Mooney,
another foundational bloated asshole who goes by the name Ceylon Mooney, responded, undisputed means the 4 major sanctioning body belts, Ring and Lineal, are not part of what makes undisputed.
Oh gee, I wonder where these guys are from and what they look like.
But it is very rare when an undisputed champion is not Ring Magazine and Lineal. The last one I can think of is Mike Tyson, who was undisputed when he faced lineal champion Michael Spinks.
Let's establish that undisputed is a concept, like a lot of things in the sport of boxing, like pound for pound.
That's conceptual. So is lineal status, the lineage of a division that traces back to its inception, back to the beginning, and undisputed is right up there with that. The basic idea is, you hold all the titles, so there is no dispute, and thus, you are undisputed. But if there's another guy at the weight running around with a Ring Magazine and lineal title,
you're not undisputed. You don't have all the belts, not if that guy's got the Ring Magazine, which is a lot harder to come by the way, than any alphabet title.
You can get those alphabet titles via email, like David did, in the light heavyweight division.
But you're not really top of the pile at a weight without lineal status, least of all if there's an active lineal champion fighting.
And the guy with lineal status usually also has the Ring Magazine title. They're not the same thing, but they do go hand in hand and are both essential to the undisputed picture.
Conceptually.
But I'll tell you what, I'll play devil's advocate. I'll be your Huckleberry, and let's play this game. that you're playing, because I know what it's really about. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that you don't need the Ring magazine or lineal title to truly be undisputed. What's the harm in adding that to your collection? What's the problem? And the problem is, who's lineal Ring magazine champion? The problem is, these two pussies don't want David to fight Jai, so they're trying to give him a pass not to.
By implying that you don't need what Jai Opataya still has to be undisputed, so that when David doesn't fight him,
They can act like he's king of the division. He's king shit.
conquered the summit, they can act like he's top of the pile without fighting Jai Opataya, because underneath it all, these fucking...
These chicken shits don't want David Benavidez to fight Jai Opataya like they didn't want Errol to fight Terrence Crawford. They don't want David to fight Jai. Are these Haymanites?
I suspect that they are, and I suspect that their rooting interest in David Benavidez, who they so wish to protect, has everything to do with who developed him, who promotes him, PBC,
Back to the same shit from the same people. It's always the same people.
and their ulterior motives, their agendas. They want David Benavidez to all of a sudden come into this weight class and be the man that conquers it without conquering Jai Opataya. Now you have to ask yourself, as a boxing fan, why wouldn't you want to see David fight Jai?
Well, a boxing fan would, but these guys are not boxing fans.
They're Haymanites. They care more about Al Heyman's image, the image of his PBC and his PBC fighters, than anything pertaining to boxing. That is why.
That's why they're doing this now. They're trying to make it to where David doesn't have to fight that guy to be undisputed, the ruler of this division. They're trying to give him a pass preemptively for pursuing weaker competition, for pursuing Noel Mikhailian instead of Jai, and whoever ends up with the IBF title, because they don't like David's chances in that fight.
Pussies like these guys can't win unless they rig the game.
Ceylon Mooney continued, more magical millennial thinking. Ring IQ, your feelings don't magically change the facts. Two people on here have educated you on this matter, so there's no excuse for this petulant child act.
Oh, look at that. He's trying to sound like me.
And you think lineal and undisputed somehow magically disappeared when the Ring shut down the Ring title in the 90s?
Last I checked, there were plenty of Ring Magazine champions in the 90s, all through the 2000s, and now. So what the fuck are you talking about?
You really think that's what happened? Or are you doing blow with David Benavidez and John Riel Casimiro? Boxing has been around longer than 20 years.
Yeah, I know. The Ring Magazine title was originally founded over a century ago, in 1922, predating the alphabet organizations you say are more essential to undisputed status. But never mind any of that, because any confusion about what belts you need to be undisputed can be set aside if David would just find his fucking balls and fight this guy. The truth is, you don't want him to.
You fucking pussy.
People like you are bad for boxing, and that's just the truth of it. While you sit here and defend David Benavidez's cowardice, you don't even patronize the man by buying his pay-per-views. You and I both know it.
Pretty fucking useless to me as a historian and useless to him as a customer.
You don't want him to fight Jai. That's why you've come up with this elaborate campaign to X out lineal status and the Ring Magazine title because David can be undisputed without it.
You fucking pussy.
You fucking bitch. And here's the thing. A lot of the people that want to see him fight Jai, they're not actually hung up on what does or doesn't constitute undisputed.
They don't actually care that much. That's just for the hardcores and the historians. The truth is, they want to see David in a good fight, and they're not going to stop advocating for one because he picks up a couple of alphabet titles.
You punk-ass bitch.
Did you really think this cockamamie argument was going to work?
David doesn't need Ring Magazine.
Oh, so I guess we should stop asking him to fight Jai Opataya then, right?
Wrong!
Men's heavyweight news, promoter Eddie Hearn stated that if kickboxing champion Rico Verhoeven had defeated Alexander Usyk, he would have secured a blockbuster fight against Anthony Joshua following Usyk's controversial stoppage win over Verhoeven this past May. Hearn revealed he's confident that Joshua's punching power and speed would have resulted in an early knockout, like what we saw with Francis Ngannou.
I feel so inclined to agree for a few reasons. I mean, if you're talking about a situation where Rico Verhoeven actually gets the decision, and wins the fight. That would force everybody in the division to take him more seriously.
And have a more serious camp if they are so encountered with this fighter in a situation where Anthony Joshua would have been the next fight following the Usyk fight. I think Anthony would do to Rico what he did to Francis Ngannou for the same reason. When Francis Ngannou goes into the Tyson Fury fight, people are thinking, this is just going to be a waltz for Tyson Fury. This is going to be easy. Tyson Fury, getting more than he bargained for, gave everybody the heads up.
So it's the same with Rico.
I believe that what we saw was a rare occasion where Oleksandr Usyk took his foot off the gas, maybe didn't take the guy that seriously, and he got more than he bargained for.
I believe that if there is a second fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven, and there might be, he might forego the Agit Kabayel fight to fight Rico again instead.
And say that he does, I think he comes back better, and I think he knocks out Rico sooner, like what he did to Daniel Dubois, their initial meeting.
There was a little bit of controversy there, but there was no controversy in the second fight. No question who deserved to win. Not only did Usyk take it out of the judges' hands again, he won in even more dominant fashion. If he were to fight Rico again, that's what I think happens.
But just entertaining this fictitious scenario, where Rico wins the fight, moves into an AJ fight, yeah, I think AJ stops him.
It's a completely different fight because AJ is a completely different fighter, and I understand that Oleksandr Usyk already beat AJ, not once, but twice.
What you have to understand is boxing math doesn't work like that. That's called a triangle theory, because Usyk struggled with Verhoeven where he didn't struggle with AJ.
Didn't struggle as much.
None of it speaks to what would happen if you put AJ in the ring with Verhoeven, a guy who's just about as big, he's about the same size, so he's not going to be a little guy battling back a giant.
And he's not going to be asleep at the wheel. He's going to have every reason to take this guy seriously and have a serious camp. And in that situation, yeah, I think AJ would stop Rico. I would go as far as saying that I wouldn't mind seeing that fight.
After the Tyson Fury fight, say Anthony Joshua wins, if he's free to go afterwards and free to fight whoever he wants to fight, book AJ versus Verhoeven for early in the next calendar year. It's a good fight.
Rico, in performing the way that he did, to some extent proved that he's formidable and he does belong. And I don't think his foray into the sport of boxing is all about winning world titles, alphabet titles. I think he's here for the big names and the big bucks. He can do that fighting Anthony Joshua for no alphabet title at all.
Anthony's celebrity's at a point, he doesn't need to be fighting for a title to get people's attention, to get them to watch. So you could do that fight. Say, AJ fights Fury in the fall or winter. Maybe you get Rico Verhoeven a stay busy fight with a Dillian White or a Derek Chisora, somebody like that.
Not too dangerous, but well known.
Hell, I wouldn't mind seeing Rico fight again on the undercard of Joshua versus Fury. He's made it clear that in this chapter of his combat sports career, he means to keep boxing. He means to keep fighting in the squared circle. And I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Dillian White, Derek Chisora, maybe even Jarrell Miller. He comes from a kickboxing background just like Rico.
Yeah, I could go for that. Why not?